My name is Jamie. I first became a patient of the Breast Center in December of 2012. I was about 38 weeks pregnant whenever I had to first come in for an ultrasound to be done with Dr. Matthews. I had found a lump in my breast a couple months prior during my pregnancy and weren't too worried about it, but it kept getting larger and more concerning. So I spoke with my GYN who had recommended that I come here for further evaluation. Staff was actually very accommodating and compassionate. We all know probably how it feels to be a little uncomfortable at the end of your pregnancy, and then to have the added stress of worrying about if I could possibly have breast cancer. So they were actually very helpful here. Came in for the ultrasound. Whenever the ultrasound was finished, Dr. Matthews came in and did a few more scans. And at that time told me that he was, concerned that we should probably look further into it. So a couple days later, I came in for a breast biopsy. At that point, I was about a week away from my C-section, so it's very large and uncomfortable. And they were really accommodating and made sure that everything was done to keep me, kind of comfortable and taken care of. Had the biopsy done here, and I came back the very next day to receive the results. It was at that time that I found out that I did in fact have breast cancer. Although it was kind of frightening, because not only did I find out about that, but it was hard because we couldn't really pursue it because I had to have the baby first. So Dr. Matthews and the nurses here were actually very helpful because they calmed me down and tried to have everything in place for me. Dr. Matthews had already called my other physicians, had set up appointments for me. So as soon as I received the results here, I immediately went over to see my breast surgeon, who sat me down, talked to me about the pathology results, let me know what the next step would be, that although I would have to deliver, that we would have to act quickly. They were concerned because of the size of the masses that it was something that had, progressed and was maybe advanced stages. So she went ahead and set me up for an appointment with an oncologist so that I could take care of that after I had the baby. So on December 20th, I delivered a healthy baby boy, 9 pounds, and we're very excited, but also very scared because although it's a very happy time in our life, you don't know what's going to happen. I had 2 girls at home, and there's a lot of what ifs, you want to be around. So the Breast Center had also got me in touch with support groups, Pink Ribbon Divas I later became very involved with, and they helped me through a lot of things. Treatment's hard, not only physically but emotionally. So with the Breast Center and the Pink Ribbon Divas, I was actually able to see out all of my cancer treatments. I had chemo first. I did 4 months of chemo, which was hard, but it was doable. We got through it. And then after I did that, I had a mastectomy, and following mastectomy, I had 30 rounds of radiation. The Pink Divas and the Breast Center of Acadiana hosted monthly meetings where we came here. It's just a nice outlet to come and talk to other women who are having the same experiences, and not just about cancer, but about family, about the day-to-day struggles of what you go through. And all those things really carried me through the process. After my one of my surgeries, I actually had an area that they became concerned with, so I had my second experience with Dr. Matthews, which was just as great as the first. Came in from scheduling to the end, it all flowed very nicely. The staff here is not only very knowledgeable, but they are compassionate, and they understand how nerve-wracking it is whenever you find something that you're concerned with, and you don't want to hear that you have to wait 3 weeks to be seen. What, 3 weeks? Who wants to wait 3 weeks whenever I could possibly have cancer again? So they get that, and came back in very quickly, had the ultrasound, and as soon as they were finished, Dr. Matthews came in and said, nope, we don't have to worry about this one. Everything's good. And that, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be able to trust in the doctors that you have. Without that trust, the doubt seems to creep in. And it's one thing that I can say, not only as a patient but as a healthcare professional, that Dr. Matthews is amazing. You know, I've been to other facilities, and by far I would recommend the Breast Center of Acadiana. Not only did I say, like I said, that they're very knowledgeable and compassionate, but you can tell that their patients come first, and they're really good at what they do. And I actually had a third and final experience here with Dr. Matthews, which was only a couple months ago. And I had my final phase of reconstruction done. I had went to New Orleans and saw a physician there, and had a deep flap, and which is basically they do a tummy tuck and make new breast out of it. And a couple months after that, I felt a lump, and actually found it by coincidence, and it just struck me odd because it was above my radiation line, and I was thinking, that's a bit odd. Maybe, you know, the radiation missed something. And so I showed it to my oncologist, and she said, you know, definitely is something that we need to look into. You know, always want to be cautious, you know, very cautious. And I came in, and Dr. Gary, they did another ultrasound, and he once again came in the room and said, no, you know, I don't think that we have to worry about this one. It looks like it's going to be benign. I reviewed the ultrasound, and so, you know, very excitedly I left and got back to work and noticed I had a voicemail, and checked it, and it was Dr. Matthews, and he said, hey Jamie, you know, if you don't mind, just give me a call back. And so I did in fact call him back, and he said, you know, I went through your previous mammograms and your previous films from whenever we originally diagnosed you, and he said, you know, just something doesn't sit right. I still believe that this is benign, but whenever I look at it on your previous mammogram, this new mass is almost in the same exact spot. And he said, because of that, I really would like to be on the safe side and go ahead and biopsy it. And which meant a lot, that not only did he care enough that he went back and checked those things, but that he would understand, you know, how I would want to be sure and be positive that, you know, this is nothing that I need to worry about. And so I did in fact come back in for a second biopsy with Dr. Matthews, which went great. You know, even the nurses here are always good afterwards. They give you plenty of instructions. Everything's very clear. Runs like a well-oiled machine. And a couple of days later, I found out that in fact it was benign. So I can speak from experience and say that I have had no bad experience here with the Breast Center. And between the doctors, the staff, and even the Pink Ribbon Divas who've been associated in the past with the Breast Center, all of it has made my experience a pretty good one.